you doing? Have a cup of tea with me, will you? Just to share a little bit of the ebb and flow of being human and to normalize it. I got very little sleep last night because I just couldn't fall asleep. I had a bit of a running into a wall with myself and with upstairs. I like to call upstairs. Universe, source, God, whatever you want to call it. I just call it upstairs. And yeah, it kind of, I hit the challenging points in my life, the sore places, the narrative of doing everything on my own. And I run into those points every now and again, and I think that's totally normal. And what I've learned is just to be gentle and compassionate and kind with myself. But I have my moments where I have that kind of what the fuck are we doing here? Kind of, what is the point of this? These moments. But what I've found is that there's this baseline that is much more just in the allowing and the allowance of what is in this moment and looking for looking for beauty. I actually think beauty is just such nourishment for the soul. Such incredible nourishment, because you can feel I didn't sleep well because I couldn't fall asleep, and it's very rare actually for me to not be able to fall asleep in that way. And clearly something processing, and I think the energies are really oscillating. You either feel this extreme high and elation and bliss and gratitude and all of these things, and then it drops into this much more kind of dense slightly deflated or slightly heavy, or it depends on the person. There's I hear it kind of across the board, but there's this swing as we're shifting through time, and I think we're just noticing as well the we're becoming more sensitive and attuned and energetically aware of the changes, of the transitions of energy and frequency. And so when you notice it more, you experience it more, right? But, not having sleep, everything kind of just dampens a little bit. But I've noticed that this baseline tends to be more at a higher level, and that appreciation for the things that are beautiful in your life, even the simplest of things, most especially when it's based in nature, because that is just so incredibly nourishing, but also human connection. But I guess I just want to speak to the people that, that experience the ebb and flow, and especially to those that are kind of going through this time on their own, having to do it on their own, because it's big times. It's big transition. There's a lot going on, and I know there are a lot of people that are doing it on their own, and when you're at home in your front room, living room, whatever you want to call it, and you're experiencing just life moving through you and wishing that you weren't doing it on your own, even though you're there in physically alone, just know that you're not, you're not really alone. And what else did I want to say? I realize you can't really do a video at having tea because it's just gonna get cold. It's just those moments of stillness and silence, and finding the peace in them, and knowing that whatever emotions come up and arise, that that's fine, And maybe there's nothing that we need to figure out, and nothing that we need to do, and nowhere that we need to get to. And it's all about opening ourselves up into what does this moment feel like? What does it feel like to be human? What does it feel like to be in my energetic field? What does it feel like to be in the resonance of who I am? Do I even know what that is? Can I get to know what that is? Because as I've been speaking about, especially in this week's podcast episode, it's almost like the language and the currency that we'll use most from this point forward will be energy, will be frequency and energy. And so getting to know yours is going to be so important. And this is why I focus a lot on authenticity. And authenticity is being who you truly are. And who you truly are is based in an energy, in an essence, in a frequency, in a vibration, in a like a signature of whatever you want to call it, of consciousness itself, right? And I think maybe things also sometimes need to get really simple so that you just come back to that, where you just sit with it, breathe through it, move through it, with it, along with it. We've spent so much time running and distracting, and it's time to really stop and turn towards ourselves and walk towards ourselves and really look like, hey, who are you? Like, who's in there? Wow, that's far out, right? But get to know yourself. And the more intimate you become with yourself, the deeper your connections are with other people. And then the deeper love becomes, and the more beautiful beauty becomes, and the more elated compassion and bliss and joy and gratitude and all of those things become. We're sensitizing ourselves. You could say that through the internet we're desensitizing ourselves, because we get so kind of far removed from things, and there's cognitive dissonance and there's artificial crap, and so you kind of just like, the overwhelm requires us to just shut off. But actually, if we tune those things out and go inwards, it's resensitizing ourselves to what's actually truly real right here, right now, which is energy. Energy, which is constantly alive, and vibrating and moving, and it's here, and it's in, it's on the sofa, and it's in everything, right? So maybe it's just an invitation that, like, being right now is probably one of the greatest things that we can do. And in an age of over-information, the best thing that you can learn and know is yourself, thyself. So, some food for thought, some tea for thought. As always, take it or leave it as feels right for you, and loving you from afar. Bye.